Hello and welcome to the 19th episode of the WhiskAYE podcast with us, your hosts, and we're not going to tell you his names, although we've probably said it before. As usual, we're looking at a Dram Team box, as is our want, and this time we are looking at Incredible Indies, the single cask, and I'll read the card that they've produced. For this special edition, we've teamed up with independent bottlers and whiskey treasure hunters, the single cask, who are experts at seeking out unusual and high-quality scotches guaranteed to expand your whiskey horizons. At all cask strength, this is a high-impact treat for the taste buds. So grab your water dropper and dive on in the whiskey's lovely slange. So these are gonna be fun.
Pull your socks off. Yeah,
yes.
By the time we discuss the 6 dram, we will probably be incomprehensible to most.
Yes. So I'm guessing you're going for full bottles?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fair. It's only Monday tomorrow.
Blood yesterday as well, so.
Yeah, but your blood alcohol content will actually be tipping over to equilibrium.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to introduce us to us first one of the day?
Absolutely. So in we go with a cheeky 57.7% ABV on the Linkwood 2011, aged 8 years. Speyside Distillery Linkwood has had a storied past. One of its previous owners, Roderick Mackenzie, was so committed to keeping its distillery character the same that he apparently didn't even allow cleaning away of cobwebs in the still house. So, clean and tidy. On the nose, should be getting oak, rancio, vanilla, pear juice, yes, white wine, green apple, walnuts, toasted almonds, and lime. So from our last week podcast meander, where we joined the sort of live tasting for a future box, I would say that very much falls into orchard fruits.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Well remembered.
And apparently citrus fruits.
It's like an orchard kind of. Maybe it's meant to say rancid. Because he didn't clean out the cobwebs and everything, so.
Yes, fair.
Yeah, no, I do get like an orchardy kind of smell. I wouldn't say like apples or pears, but kind of like being in an orchard, I guess.
So translating it to English, we get rancid or musty. So.
Right, that's what rancio is.
Okay, apparently, though, it's actually a floral, nutty, dried fruit and spicy notes from cognac tasting.
Okay. So I'm going to go with orchard fruits on the nose because I liked how you remembered that, and I do actually kind of get that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go in for this.
Crisp.
Yeah, crisp is a good word. I'm going to go in for a sip. What should I be tasting?
On the palate, there should be bitter oak, walnuts, rancio again, green tea, lime, white wine, and pear juice. And it should be finishing with a medium bitterish oak, green tea, walnuts, and lime. So,
There's a bit of woodiness to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think by lime, they just mean it's like there's kind of a citrus kick. So I can kind of get that. I'm not sure I get walnuts from it. I don't know what rancio tastes like. Green tea, it's got that kind of freshness.
It's strong.
It is strong. It's warming. It's definitely warming. Yeah, I'm not sure I get walnuts. I definitely get like a citrus kick.
I could understand the white wine sort of concept.
See, I don't drink wine, so you'd have to help me on that one.
It's hard to really describe the flavour of wine other than winey.
Is it not like the drier wine, white wine?
You get dessert whites. To be fair, saying white wine is kind of a cop-out because, like, it's a pretty broad-ranging alcohol type, but I assume that the person is just, as we have previously discussed, it's more the
memories.
This was a comment we made. Yeah, the memories of flavor rather than actual flavor. So you say, oh, it tastes a bit like white wine. You wouldn't probably be like, oh, that tastes, unless you're also a wine connoisseur. You wouldn't be like, oh, that tastes like a.
Maybe that's the trick when you set up a wine podcast
whatever.
as well.
Yeah, no.
I did get a lot more bitterness on the second tasting.
I'm gonna add a drop of water. Right.
Right.
I know it's not done on this podcast usually.
You're welcome to. I just don't have any water with me. I've got tea.
Oh, add the drop of tea, and then it'll taste like tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, green tea is a tasting note.
Yeah. Okay. On the nose, it's not really.
Nope.
Bringing out the nuts a bit more with the water.
Yeah, I could get with a third tasting then. Once my body's acclimatized to the alcohol, I definitely got more of a kind of bitterish nuttiness flavour.
It's very nice, but it's nuttier, like earthier maybe.
Yeah.
In a way, that'd be like green tea again, though.
Yeah. Green tea does have kind of like an earthy, kind of natural flavour, doesn't it? Like puddle water.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Right. So my comments overall, I've put orchard fruits on the nose, crisp, citrus kick, fresh/crisp flavours with bitter nuttiness, warming medium finish.
Yes.
And then for your extra comments, I've put earthier with water, which almost sounds like a spell. So, you've got two of the elements in there.
Yeah. You just need to heat it up a bit.
Maybe that's the point of like whiskey, but it's why it's so powerful, because you use all of them. You use water, you use fire, you use earth, and then you add ice.
Is it not air?
Is it not? Yeah, I suppose ice is just water again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So air. Do you use? Yeah, you use air because you let it stay in the cask.
Yeah. There's definitely an air element to it.
So it's like.
I'd say that there's also the esters which give you the smell are air.
Yeah, true, and that's a big part of tasting. So it's like earth, air, fire, water. By our powers combined, you get whiskey.
Yeah. The best thing.
Exactly.
I mean, unfortunately, you also get, apart from earth, that's pretty much all of alcohol.
Yeah, and if you get too much earth, then you get peaty whiskey, and that's crap.
Unless it's like lightly peated. Like,
a
Benramac, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think there's some like lightly peated Campbelltowns that we've had that you quite didn't mind.
I think there was a couple.
It came out like sort of salted caramel.
I think the thing that annoys me when the peated Campbelltowns is if it was just a Campbelltown, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
And then you went and added peat.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next one, or do we need a minute?
A score?
Oh, we've got to score.
Got to give it a score.
It's almost like I'm part-time at this these days.
Yeah, I know. What would you give it
then? Probably give that 3.5. I think.
I think a solid 3.5 is a good.
It's like our go-to one. Our go-to score is 3.5 when it's good.
Yeah.
But we've explained this many times. Just because it's not 5 every time, not every whiskey can be a 5. 3.5 is good.
Only one whiskey is a 5 so far, and that's only from me, I think.
Sure, or maybe not.
Don't
if
think
we'd have
you've
tasted.
I don't think you ever give one a 5.
Not even like the Benramac.
The Chateau Cisac.
Finished. Yeah.
No, 4.5.
Might need to revisit some of these.
You've got a few 4.5s.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like
Winter Storm, 4.5.
I feel like 5 is perfect, and I've never had the perfect whiskey.
I've only got one 5.
Yeah,
that's a booner.
Yeah, I mean it's your favorite, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'll introduce this to us next one then, shall I? So next on the chopping block today is Ben Rinner's 2009, aged 10 years, and it's another single cask. They all are.
Yeah.
Benriners is one of the last remaining distilleries to use the old-fashioned worm tub style of condensers, which convert spirit vapor to liquid. These helped give Benriners its meaty, weighty character. The only official Benriners release is Diageo's 15-year-old Flora and Fauna edition, making this bottling a rare treat. So you should get sweet malt and crisp green apples or pears, followed by walnuts that were cracked by new oak planks. So, like, very similar to the last one.
Tasting note.
Yeah, not cracked with like a maple plank or a pine plank. Cracked with a new, not even an old oak plank, a new oak plank.
I assume what they mean by walnuts that were cracked by new oak planks is it'll smell like new oak and walnuts.
Yeah, but it's a nicer way of saying it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we ought to do. We ought to be like, oh yeah, this tastes like
artistry to
eating walnuts while wandering through an orchard. A light breeze and that kind of rain that you can sense on your face, but is not enough to get through even the lightest clothing, playing through the air. A chaffinch chirps in the distance. Something like that, you reckon?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. We should
Nevermore.
Yeah, it's my only bird-related literature reference.
That's it, the same.
Okay, do you want to go in for a sip? I'll tell you what you should be tasting.
Yeah.
So you should get a gentle seasoning of spiced cinnamon, nutmeg, and black pepper that's sprinkled over malt, ripe apples, and succulent grapes.
It is peppery, but I'd say more on the finish. What does it say about the finish?
Oh, sorry, yes. Finish is a rounded medium finish, carries through green grapes, walnuts, and oak to the end.
I get the pepper sort of comes through more to the end. I think I'm getting the sort of spices though. Nutmeg, I think.
It's quite woody on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah. It's always difficult to get a good grasp on the nose with such high alcohol content. This one's 58.4 for anyone who's wondering. Just because obviously your nose burns out so quickly.
Yeah, it's not even the strongest of the day.
It's middle of the road pretty much.
Yeah. Right, I'm going in for a tasting, so ramble on, fill the air.
I find it interesting that different types of condenser would give you different flavors, because realistically all you're doing is you're running hot vapors through a cold pipe which goes through something cold. Maybe, like, I would assume that the vapor is going through the same copper pipes.
Yeah, I think a more modern one uses just like a sheath, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To condense it, where instead of the worm tubs, which is just like really thin pipes going backwards and forwards on themselves in a tub of cold water, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's slow. You'd imagine the older way is slower, and that's why they replaced it. So maybe that's what it. Because that is quite savoury.
Possibly
it's quite
just
meaty.
more expensive.
Yeah, could be.
Volume of metal.
Yeah, but then you get more metal contact to the whiskey, to the spirit. If it's copper, that changes it, doesn't it?
That will change, yeah.
So maybe that's it. It's quite savoury, isn't it?
Yes, it's really nice, this though.
Yeah. Savoury flavours dominate to begin. It is like a well seasoned steak.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that pepper in there.
It's hard to pinpoint what the spices are, but it does have sort of that warm Christmas spice.
Yeah.
Kind of going through it.
Yeah.
Which is, I assume would be nutmeg and cinnamon mostly.
Yeah, I'd have said so.
But I'm just adding some water again, since I have the...
Yeah, you've got to add your water comments. If I called you a water bender, that'd be more offensive to a Scottish person, wouldn't
it? Yeah. That's like a very un-PC word for a sailor.
Yeah. You're one of them water benders, are you?
Don't cancel us. It's a foolish joke. We are literally not calling it. We're not saying it's bad to be any of these, to be a sailor or,
You can refer to yourself with whatever words you like, and you can expect us to respect them.
I was just pointing out that that's what that sounds like.
It's got quite a mellow finish, that one, I'd say. But it could be because I'm already getting drunk. How are we at with it in slightly diluted?
Adding the water makes it sort of takes the edge off of the pepperiness at the end, so the oak sort of comes through more. It's quite nice.
It allows oak flavors to blossom in the finish. How about that?
Didn't particularly change the nose profile again, but I think my nose might just be burnt out from trying to smell the
60% whiskies.
Yeah.
That'll do it. We're going to have to take this a bit slow. It's getting to me already. We're only like 50 minutes in. We're two.
Yeah, well, we've got some time to do some
two
talking.
cast strength ones down. Yeah, I'm up for doing some talking. What would you like to talk about?
I mean, we could mention that we tuned in recently last week to the middle of the week even.
Why don't you talk us through that a bit? I'm going to finish this one off.
Yeah. So, as you know, we do our podcasts still primarily. I say primarily. There's, I think, one which may have never been released, or two, and one was released and one was never released, that aren't Dram Team boxes. But
was one on Clydeside?
I think we did one on Clydeside, but I can't remember.
Anyway.
And we had one recorded from a box of blends that we bought when we were at Dallas too, so we could talk about our trip, which we then were too drunk to talk about our trip, and managed to not record it. Yeah. Or delete the recording.
We recorded it and then I immediately deleted it. Yeah, because the off button and the stop recording button was a very similar feeling.
Yeah. So
that's the story I'm going
with. But the Dram Team have a virtual tasting where you can they sort of, it's kind of podcast form-ish. It's basically Chris and a guy, I'm blanking.
Vin.
Oh yeah, Vin. He was
can you remember his channel name?
I can find it.
No Nonsense Whiskey, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I think. That was what it was. Yeah.
His symbol was the hand with a no on it. I'll have a look on YouTube. Give me a second.
Yeah, basically we went along, signed in using the WhiskAYE channel YouTube, and we were talking in the chat with the guys. But that was I found it, whilst we're in lockdown and we can't really do any interesting whiskey related things other than really this is our only whiskey related indulgence that we have just now, because we can't, distilleries are shut. Although, I mean, I live in a tier 4 zone in Scotland currently. We're in coronavirus, if you're listening in the future, which means that I'm not allowed to exit. There are travel fines if you get caught. But I imagine that the Speyside regions would potentially, they're quite, Speyside's, I think, going to be a tier 1 pretty soon, which means that it's basically not in any form of lockdown, so the distilleries might open. Shame it's winter. But,
yeah, I mean, we'd have done a visit by now, but yeah.
Yeah. I just was, that's sort of context.
It is.
Normally in these bits we like to talk about interesting whiskey things we've done, but for a while it's basically not been a thing. Yeah. So it was good to get something in. And it was. We were talking in the chat. Chris gave us a shout out. So if anyone's came from the shout out over there, that was thanks for coming over. We hope you enjoy our incoherent ramblings as we get drunk. Yeah. And being, I believe we're recording this 2 months late, so whenever it goes up, sometime in
Next couple of weeks.
non-coronavirus
Next couple of
times.
weeks.
Nah, Josh is
I'm on it.
on it. I believe we didn't say our names at the start this time, but I've just said it again. So
Gonna be one per Wednesday until we've caught back up, and then we'll have to have a look at his schedule again.
Yeah, we might try and. I feel like we should maybe try and go for fortnightly, and we can do some other tastings.
Yeah, I agree that fortnightly is probably.
We have yet to discuss this on our in between us, so we'll.
Yeah.
A future announcement to be had.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Anyway, were you ready? I was all I really had to say. It was really good to actually just join in on that and have something related to do.
It was informative as well. Like, we learned orchard fruits.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was pretty popular. There was like 30 people, something.
In the YouTube, and they were also live on Twitch and Facebook. So
yeah, I can say which for a whiskey stream I think is pretty damn good. So no, it was good, and it was good to pick up a few tips from how Vin was running things and on maybe improvements we can do, such as cameras.
It was also good to see that he himself says the same as us. He's obviously, we aspire to have his sort of level of following. He got in ahead of the game, obviously. So, I mean, if you're one of the first, then you deserve your position. I've seen the gap in the market, but it was nice to see that he admits, nobody's an expert, because nobody is an expert, really. You can know all of the facts, but it's such a personal experience, whiskies, that, if someone tells you, oh, that's peppery to me, and you say peppery, I don't get pepper at all, I'm tasting caramel, then they're not wrong. Your palate is picking up different things. So
yeah, exactly, and it's all that memory thing as we've discussed.
Yeah, if you've never tasted something, you can't say, oh, this tastes like, guava.
And that's that tasting that we attended is going to lead into a special podcast that we're going to do, not next, I think the one after next, where we drank half of the box, obviously, in that tasting, and we couldn't record the podcast at the same time because we wouldn't have been able to hear Vin and Chris talk and shout us out. Most importantly, obviously. So we left half. We recorded our feelings on that day, and then we will drink the other half, and we will do record our tastings separately without rereading the earlier ones, and then we'll compare and see if we are actually legitimately tasting things or if we're just making things up. Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be a bit of both.
Yes.
I'm hoping that we get some similarities.
Yes. Well, I think the fact that we've both got very narrow palates and about 5 different tasting notes between us makes it a good bet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If we just say all 5 every time, then we'll have some cross.
The old scattergun approach. Yeah, okay. Why don't you lead us on to whiskey number 3? Why don't we do it? We'll do a number 2 fairly rapid, and then we'll have a bit of a wander again, and then we'll do the last 2.
Perfect. I mean, if we end up wandering in between, we'll see what happens. We're going to be probably drunk, so structure me.
I'm always constantly aware that I can't drink as well as you, so I have to.
Oh, well, as I said, I gave blood, so I literally have.
Don't say that. Just take the compliment.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, I should that we should be leveler there. Yeah, I believe it's probably because I just likely have more blood in my system because I'm a bigger person.
I'm average height, goddammit.
I wasn't talking about height.
Don't start with Lauren nonsense, right?
But yeah.
You best be subscribed.
Okay, up next we're on pardon?
Lauren best be subscribed.
Oh, she probably is. She definitely listens.
100%.
So our next one is a mouthful. Spelt Auchroisk and pronounced Orthrusk. Apparently, I would have said Ochrusk, but what am I to know? I'm only Scottish. It's 2008, aged 11 years. So the Ochrusk is one of the industry's industry giant Diageo's workhorse blender whiskies that is rarely seen as a single malt. It used to be bottled under the Singleton brand name, which is admittedly much easier to pronounce. But now you can impress your less knowledgeable whiskey pals.
That's what we're doing right now.
That's what
Because
we're
you're
trying.
all our whiskey pals.
Yeah, our whiskey friends.
Yeah.
So
And my mum.
and yeah, well, the nose should be. I mean, I would get my mum to follow us too, but she doesn't have a YouTube account because she, doesn't have any social medias.
She'd set one up just to subscribe.
Yeah, just do it in her name. She'll probably kill me. She actually does have a YouTube account, but it's her work one. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
given that she works with, children aged
It's a bad luck.
4 to 11, it's probably not a good idea to follow.
Hey, we don't swear all the time. She could put the videos on. They could learn about.
I was more thinking that.
Chemistry.
This is an informative, cultural podcast.
We just be talking about the impact of copper on whiskey flavors.
Yeah.
Is that not chemical reactions and stuff?
I believe so. I'm
There you
a
go, then.
mechanical engineer. It's copper. It has good heat properties for transmittal, but not for insulation.
I just realised something. We never actually scored the Ben Ridders.
Oh, did we not?
No,
I was going to go for a 4.
a 4. I can go with a 4 on that. That was really nice.
So on the nose here, you should be getting sweet malt, lime again, and nutmeg, followed by some pepper cracked over oak. Oh, it's pepper they're cracking with the oak this time.
Cracking a lot of stuff with that oak. I do get malt. Like a sweet and malty
Yes, I
smell.
do
It's
get
like
malt.
it's like smelling the sour mash. The
Or a grain, not a grain, like a... Yeah, it's like not a shorter distilled...
yeah, I know what you mean.
A
It's like
shorter aged whiskey, like a
Yeah.
new make, sort of.
Yeah, it's like when you go in and you get the mash in the mash tun. It smells like
Yeah.
that to me.
Oh, really? Mine's a bit further down the line.
Hmm.
Smells a bit more.
But definite malt. Definite malt.
I think with the lime, it's when it has like a sharp
That's what I'm thinking.
edge to it.
Yeah.
They often put this.
Because lime is.
Because it doesn't really
it's-
smell like lime, but lime doesn't really smell a lot like anything.
It's one of those smells that just cuts through everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then. I'll go in. What am I meant to be
On
tasting?
palate, back to the lime, we should be tasting sharp lime, juicy kiwi fruit, that's a new one, and lemon are mixed with nutmeg, leading into a finish, medium to long finish of black pepper and nutmeg sprinkled over oranges.
So I do
very
get-
citric.
I do get kiwi. I know what they mean. They mean like a citrus fruit, but a sweeter citrus.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I get what they mean. I did. As soon as you said kiwi fruit, that kind of clicked in my head. I get what they mean by nutmeg because it's kind of like a mild spice that kind of builds, and then it is a medium to long finish. And I do get the black pepper, so I get quite a lot of this.
Not sure about the. I only had a very small sip because again, 56.5%. This is rather strong. I'll give it another little mouthwash version to try and coat my taste buds properly.
Yeah, no, I definitely get like a sweet citrus, so I can happily give that kiwi fruit.
Oh yeah. I get it.
Yeah, you
It's
see what I
like-
mean?
It's still sharp,
Yeah, but it's,
yeah, there's
it's
like a
sweeter.
fruity, sugary
Mm,
undercurrent.
yeah. So
I
I've
could
put
get that.
I put sweet malt on the nose, kiwi fruit to begin with, mild spice building to a pepperiness at the finish.
Maybe sort of like mango-y. I don't know.
Yeah,
Might-
yeah, no, I
It doesn't
yeah.
taste like kiwi fruit to me, but I get this tasting note now. That makes it.
Yeah,
After my
I
second taste, I got it.
yeah, I do get kiwi, but I think it's because you said it as I tasted it.
I'm just gonna add a couple of drops of water, like very, very, very minimal water. I'm adding to these.
Add as much as you want.
It's just because I don't actually have a dropper, so I'm having to like.
Well, that's the thing with whiskey, innit? You have it how you like it. If you have to put it with Coca-Cola to like it, you can do that. It's your whiskey. Do what you want with it.
Pretty much. The guy, a friend of my parents, fell out with his mother-in-law because she asked for a whiskey, meaning a Jack Daniels or a Jim Beam. But he gave her a glass with probably an Isla, and she says, "Oh, could you put some Coke in it?" And he was like, "Oh, so you're asking for Coke in it? That's a however many £100 whiskey." And she was like, "Well, I'm not a spirits connoisseur. I'm an 80-year-old woman who didn't want a brandy. She wanted a whiskey and Coke." So
yeah, why would you give someone who doesn't know much?
exactly.
Unless you know someone really likes whiskey, then you open up with that. But yeah, that's a stupid thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. So I lost some respect for that person when I found that one out. But
yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't even do that. Like, if you came to visit and you were like, "Give me a whiskey," I wouldn't open you up on like the £100-odd bottle.
No, you'd be like, "All right, do you want?"
Yeah, we'd start on one of his normal favourites.
Yeah,
like Casganam or an Aberlour 10 or something to get you into the groove, especially an Isla. Because that is an acquired taste, a peated whiskey, like a strong peated whiskey.
That's very different with water.
Is it? What would your comment be on it with water then?
All the sharpness is gone, and it's quite sweet, but there's not really any strong flavour in the start, and then at the end it's like just pepper. It basically cuts all of the citrus out of it.
Okay, I put water replaces sharpness with sweetness.
Very nice still, but very different, if you know what I mean.
I like this one, but I like my savoury whiskies. It reminds me of Mortlach every time I have one like this. Because I think that was the first one I had that was kind of like a whiskey you can chew.
Yeah, meaty.
What would you want to give that one then? Or am I rushing you?
No, I think I'm ready to score that one. Probably.
I would go for a 4 on that one.
I was going to say I was teetering between 3.5 and a 4, but I think that was definitely a 4.
Yeah.
This is one of those times when I would probably like to, 3.75, but we set up the rules, so.
At some point we are actually going to have one of these Skype calls where we don't drink, so we can work out as like scoring systems and things like that.
Well, become more professional.
The inner machinations of WhiskAYE.
Absolutely.
One day.
Maybe.
I'll take us straight into our next one then, shall I?
Straight on, yep.
So this is a Blair Atoll. Atoll or Athol?
I'd probably say Atoll. But...
Blair Atoll, 2011, aged 8 years. Just outside picturesque Pitlochry sits the Blair Atoll distillery. Most of its malt ends up in blends like Bell's, but its single malts are highly prized by the in-know Scotch aficionados. So on the nose, it's lively and robust. Limestone, grapefruit juice, floral elements, lime, oak, malt, white wine, pine resin, white pepper, and some alcohol, which for 58.3% whiskey, I imagine some alcohol is probably an understatement.
Yes. Let's have a go. 2 seconds.
And again, this is not in the top 3 strength-wise. We finished strong. No. We finished with the top 2.
Yeah. Luckily, the strongest is the 6 gram, which is only 10 mil, so we might be able to get up for work tomorrow.
There is no work tomorrow, I've decided.
Well, it's working from home, isn't it? You just do what you want in the morning and then...
Oh, yeah, my Outlook wouldn't connect. Sorry about that. I did have it on Friday morning. I knew as soon as I logged on, all the emails would be like, "Oh, Josh, can you just call me? Can you just do this? Can you just that?" So my Outlook didn't actually connect for a little bit, and I was like in no rush to make it work. Because you can actually get some work done when your emails aren't working. So, do you get the limestone and?
Well, Well, given that the nosing notes are very scattergun here, I don't know what limestone actually smells like, but I get a grapefruitiness to it when I sort of if I pass the I just hit the mic because I was doing it, but if I pass the glass under my nose,
like a quick one before the alcohol can destroy it.
Yeah, I do get a citric, like it's very tropical, is what I would say. So the grapefruit juice, that makes sense. I suppose that would also lead into the four elements in the lime.
I had to have a little jar of coffee beans with my dinner so I can reset my nose.
And then you just do the palm trick, don't you? But
yeah, but you sniff the coffee beans after you've burned your nose out, don't you, to reset it?
Oh, yeah, to reset it, yeah. But pine, maybe.
I do get kind of like a woody smell, but not like planks, but like trees.
Yeah, like fresh. Yeah, like when someone rips a limb off of a tree.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, I say that like it's a frequent occurrence, but when I was
you just go
10,
around.
that would happen often.
Yeah, just go around
would be climbing a tree and would,
Yeah, but that smell when you rip a limb off an enemy. Yeah, that's so.
Sap it, yeah. And then there's
sap. That's good. So we'll go for pine sap.
Maybe some spice to it. But yeah.
Pine sap and grapefruit on the nose. Okay, why don't you dive in for a taste and I'll tell you what you've got.
Okay.
So it's full-bodied grapefruit juice, pear juice, alcohol. Feels like that's a bit of a given. Oak, malt, pine sap. Hey, how about that? We're on it. Floral elements, white wine, lime, white pepper, honey. So a lot. And the finish is medium to long with citrus fruits, oak, white pepper, honey, and wood spices.
At the front, it tastes a lot like a fruit salad kind of like. So when you opened up with, I drank it. I was like, oh, it's a bit fruity, and then you were like, full body grapefruit juice, pear juice, alcohol, and I was like, oh yeah, that pretty much
I'm getting the alcohol.
Describes this, yeah. And then the malt and the pine sap. I don't know if I got. There's a white wineness to it, I think. Obviously, you say you're not a big white wine or wine in general drinker. I don't like white wine in particular, but it'd be weird to get strong red wine flavors in normal whiskey, I think. But
so I started off right at the front of the mouth, very sweet.
Yeah.
Fruit.
It's like,
and then it went
at the front.
It didn't even do the mid palate; it just went straight to the back, and like a bittery kind of, I guess, kind of a woody, kind of a nutty, those kind of flavors. So I'm wondering if that's what it means by malt and pine sap. There is a very mild spiciness in it. But yeah, so it definitely starts, the flavors definitely start at the front. I like your fruit salad analogy. That was a good one.
Yeah, it is. That bitterness at the end is sort of like a little bit winey, but not quite. It's peppery, which it says. I'd say the citrus fruits. I suppose citrus fruits are bitter, but I think it loses its fruitiness.
Pretty rapid.
Finish, the fruity, that side of the flavor, the bitter sharpness remains, but it doesn't have the sweetness following behind to make it taste fruity to me.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's more peppery at the back. Wood spices, as it says, maybe would be another option. I guess wood spices is like what all men's aftershave smells like.
Yeah, fair point. Sandalwood tastes like we can taste sandalwood.
Sandalwood and white pepper.
And gun.
I've added
That's
a
always-
little bit of water.
That's always men's stuff, innit? It smells like gun and
I
hammers.
saw a breakdown of men's deodorants, and it was like a starter pack or whatever, like the meme men's deodorant starter pack, and it was like acceptable colors was like 2 different reds, 2 different greens, 2 different blues, black, and then an array of black and grey, and then it was like sport, just like clips from everything, because it's like everything is sport.
It's the only,
And then it
it's
was
the only
like
reason
aggressive grip knurling and stuff like that. Like how sweaty do you expect me to be that after I've had a workout and I want to put my antiperspirant on, which you're supposed to put on before, that like I'm not going to be able to hold the bottle. It's kind of like, how can I hold all these deodorants?
That's the callback both to a classic meme and to that Jackbox thing that we did.
An excellent Jackbox thing.
When that was Martha's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was 100% convinced it was you.
Yeah, I didn't even know the meme at the time.
I was like, "There's no way." It's like a crap tier meme. I'm avoiding swearing. I notice. It's a crap tier meme. It's got to be Milburn.
Yeah.
I'm just giving away your full name.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh no! If people piece it together, it's got to be.
Like, I checked on
be,
Facebook. There's like 7 people with my name in my region, not region, but like in the north of England and south of Scotland.
It's got to be Frederick Milburn, my friend. There you go.
That's actually my granddad's name, and now I've given away a lot.
Oh no.
Don't worry about it.
So, and then it was just like, no way. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever recreate it, because we played it again later, didn't we? And it just wasn't the same.
Yeah. Now, I feel like there was an element of that one where I played Jackbox with my family quite a lot. But my brother has like all of the Quipplashes, so that makes there's more variety.
Yeah.
The issue is like also I don't like to like with my family. I don't play to try and win. I just play to make myself laugh. But I feel like with your friends, there's more of a competition, especially when like. Say you're you or me, and one of our defining features in our friendship group is being funny.
That's all we've got.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, if people start beating us at Jackbox,
that's it. Time to walk into the sea.
We kicked out. Yeah.
So, yeah, that first time though, I mean, we came up with some good old MAGA Kanye.
Yeah. There's many. There's other ones that you don't want to mention because it's kind of a bit like playing.
Got a bit dark.
Yeah, it's a bit like playing Cards Against Humanity, but you're allowed to write it yourself, which kind of implicates you worse.
Your good Christian one.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That it was the fact that like
you would expect something else.
Well, it's the fact. There was that, but it's also the fact that what you put was like 3 or 4 steps away from what you meant.
Yeah.
And I just went straight to it.
You had to work it out, yeah.
It's just like,
and then when I explained it, Martha hated it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else got it immediately, and I was nearly dead because I was like, I know you well enough to know exactly what you meant.
Yeah.
And I was just creased, just like in half, just cannot breathe.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't disclose it because the answer is potentially a password to our account. So
but it was quite funny.
Yeah.
But oh man, I think I've been absolutely creased, like more with you than anyone else probably, because I've been drunk with you more than anyone else.
It does help.
I mean that tea too.
Yeah. Also, we share a very similar sense of humor.
We do. Yeah.
So that additionally helps.
I mean, we were crying.
Yeah.
Over T2, and it's not even funny.
T2 was the thing which you would have probably found out about if our recorded podcast in Speyside ever went out. But
it was like I think it was a combination of being drunk, being completely humbled by that woman.
Yeah.
like absolutely just like as
Oh,
place
the woman
world reinforced, but yeah, the woman with the antiques,
bric-a-brac shop, essentially.
and
Who
then
had find us on Facebook, but no title for her
she
shop
didn't
name
need it though.
anywhere.
She didn't need it. She's like a
Yeah.
massive success.
Yeah, no, it was just the thing that we found funniest was the fact that in chalk on a board she had written "Find us on Facebook," but there was no mention anywhere of what her shop was called.
But it
Not
showed
even
us,
on
didn't
the
it?
front of the shop. But then along comes like Bargain Hunt UK, not Bargain Hunt. It's like Salvage Hunters, and it's like the prime place to go to get your antiques because she has a church, an entire church full of like mid-tier antiques, and then a shop next door full of top.
And she's like antiques. First one in when there's funerals or whatever. Everyone calls her first.
Yeah, for like the whole of the
clearing the houses out and that
Scottish northeastern region.
Yeah, so we're
humbled because we'd been taking the mick at the bus stop.
We really had.
And then we found out on TV the same day. This is a coincidence. We'd been outside the shop, and then we went back to our hotel, turned on the TV. That Salvage Hunters was on. That episode came. We were humbled. We were kind of drunk, and then along comes the next episode where T, the normal guy, was replaced, but with another guy called T.
And then we worked out how he gets his bargain prices from vendors.
Yeah.
When I say worked out,
we decided.
It's based purely on the fact that one of the vendors' missuses was out of his league
by a long way.
Yeah, like he was just like some fat old bloke, and she was actually like pretty fit.
Yeah.
And we were like, how does that work? It was
kind of like, if this guy had money, I would understand it, but he's trying to sell like ponies made of shells for like £8.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has money.
Yeah. So we worked it out to mean what we worked it out to mean, basically.
Yeah.
So shout out to Salvage Hunters. You gave us a good laugh.
Yeah. Anyway, I've added water to this one to try and finish it off.
Oh yes. What would you say with water?
It almost makes it more alcoholic on the nose, which I've noticed does happen sometimes as you release the esters.
Yeah.
It's like it's really burning out my nose, very peppery, and then on the palate, it's. I was just gonna take a sip.
Yeah. So you'd put that it kind of got rid of the fruitiness and gave the wood spices more prominence.
I think that was on the last one.
No, that was on the Blair Atoll.
All right. But yeah, it's yes. The honey's there more, actually.
Okay.
Interestingly. It almost took the sharpness out that time, which just left
space for the honey to come through. Yeah. What would you like to give that then as a score?
I'm
going to go for a 3 on that. Not that it's that bitteriness, just a bit much for me.
I think it was probably 3.5, but it was a long time ago that I drank it without water, and then so I might be basing it off the water one.
We did get distracted again, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, it was on cue. We did say we would drink 2 more and then go on a ramble. It just so happened that the ramble happened naturally.
Pre-scores. Yeah. Super professionals.
Yeah, we've got to make it feel like, we're just...
There's enough professional whiskey drinkers out there who'll give you professional views. That's not us.
Yeah. If you want a professional take on it, speak to...
Mr. Paraffin.
I've forgotten what the guy's name who does the book, The Whiskey Bible, is. Jim
Murray.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jim Murray.
My brain was going to say Jim Clark, and I'm pretty sure that's like a rally driver. So,
I think he is. Shout out to Jim Clark.
I really hope he's not like on the whiskey to the extent that Jim Murray is, because when we noted down how many whiskeys Jim Murray reviews every year, we realised that he must drink about 12 a day. So
Yeah, how he's still alive, I don't know. Speaking of shout-outs, do we ever do a shout-out to Eva Green? Like the actor?
probably, because,
I'm just gonna do a shout-out to Eva Green while we're at it.
Okay. Just in case you ever hear this.
Yeah.
The YouTube algorithm picks it up.
Yeah.
She's searching for herself one day and it just somehow gets to the top of Google.
She always struck me as someone who would enjoy a good single malt.
Maybe, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Eva.
Okay, Jim Clark was touring cars, not...
Do you want to do a shout-out to anyone?
Jim Clark, boom.
Wait, but is Jim Clark still alive? Wasn't Jim Clark the guy who was like...
He died in 1968, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Clark was the guy who was like a touring car driver and a Formula One driver, and he won the Indianapolis 500 and Formula One and the touring cars in 1 year, I think.
Yeah, and then he died at the Hockenheim Rings. So.
Yeah.
Doing what he loved, I guess.
I know his name because he was on. They did a Top Gear tribute to him, and it was just absolutely insane what he managed.
It's almost like Rally. I thought it was Rally, and that's the only thing that he doesn't seem to be in. But I don't think Rally was a thing in the 60s.
I don't know if he wasn't
in the early 60s. He might have been. In fact, Rally must have been a thing in the 60s because many were in Rally. So.
Yeah, he was Formula One, 24-hour Le Mans, Indianapolis 500, Tasman Series, and Formula 2. Because I think he died in Formula 2 in the break in Formula 1.
The guy loved cars that much that he was willing to just like.
He was just a ridiculously good driver. It's just. Yeah, he was in a Formula 2 race.
Yeah, fair enough. Give a shout out to him.
Yeah.
Jim Clark and his whiskey Bibles.
Yeah, while he was driving, just taking a couple of tastings around the car.
That's why he was so good, because he was like always drunk, so he was just willing to take it like that little bit further.
I mean, the guy got highest percentage of possible championship points in a season. He got 100% in 1963 and 1965.
All right.
Highest percentage of laps in the lead in a season, 71.47% in 1963. So 71.47% of all laps in the Formula One in that season, he was in the lead.
It's pretty good.
Most races with pole, win, fastest lap, and leading every lap, 8. 8 races. He started on pole, he won it, he had the fastest lap, and he didn't ever get overtaken.
I feel that's got to be in one season, right? Because I would say, I imagine Schumacher and Hamilton have managed that many over their careers, but they've also not died. So
yeah, it was 32.
Because Jim Clark only drove. I was reading there. His first race was in 62, and he died in 68. So he only had 7 years, and he's got all these records.
Yeah, it was 32. So he would have been going for ages.
Yeah.
He was the first win for a front-engine car at the Indianapolis 500. No front-engine car has won the race since.
That's mad.
Yeah, so the guy's just. Every now and again, someone comes along who's just built to be something, and he was built to be a racing driver. Yeah, I mean, if he was there now, imagine what he'd be. And you know where he was from, don't you?
Where?
He's Scottish. He's
from
because Kilmany, Fife.
I think so, because I think the reason I associate him with Raleigh is that there's a Jim Clark Raleigh.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is a Scottish Raleigh. Yeah. Jim Clark Memorial Rally, which is in the British Rally Championship. That's why it's in Kelso in Berwick. So, yeah, the Jim Clark Rally is a Scottish rally in ode to Jim Clark, basically.
So he started his racing career in road rally and hill climb events.
There you go. And the Jim Clark Rally is a road rally. So
there you go.
Look, it's an educational podcast. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. I've done my shout out to Eva Green purely based on logic, and you've done a pretty good shout out. Maybe we ought to do that. We ought to do a
shout out of the week of the month.
A shout out each. Yeah. Someone we think is deserving of one.
Yeah.
Right. as last full size whiskey. I think it's your turn.
Yep. So this is a Carlisle,
Not going to enjoy this.
2013, age 6 years. You probably, I mean, it should be like Carlisle is like the entry level peat.
Yeah, but it's still peated like 40 ppm or whatever.
Yeah, but so Carlisle is one of Ireland's biggest distilleries, but for some reason it's not as well known as others. We think that's a huge shame. Their single malts are fabulously smoky and a must-try for any peathead. Islay whiskies are known to peak at a younger age than whiskies from other regions, and this youthful 6-year-old dram really proves that point. On the nose, you should get spirited peat smoke, sea salt, shellfish, menthol, oak, vanilla, cinnamon, and green tea. I read that like that because I believe it should say spirited peat smoke, but there are 2 commas in there that I would not have put in.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
What you getting?
It's peaty, but it's not overwhelmingly peaty.
It smells like it's like only slightly further than a Benriach. Like it's a hint.
I wouldn't say a hint, but it's quite. It's not as heavy as I expected.
You know what I mean? Like it's not the only thing I can smell.
Yeah, it doesn't overwhelm.
The saltiness in this.
Yeah, it's definitely a seaside smell. That one. It smells like the seaside.
I could maybe get the minty menthol kind of idea.
I don't know if I can never tell if that's just the alcohol.
Yeah, I think it is. Like the alcohol and maybe the green tea would give it the sort of menthol. Yeah,
it kind of just cuts through, don't like a menthol would. All right, here we go. What am I tasting?
Peat smoke with a comma again. Bacon, sea salt, shellfish, menthol, oat, vanilla, cinnamon, and green tea.
So there's peat in there, but it's not heavy peated, that one.
And then the finish should be medium to long, drying peat, sea salt, vanilla, and oak. So salty. I'm not.
That's more like it's more like smoked bacon. So that's not too bad. It's definitely peaty, but it's not overwhelming. I can get behind this one.
Usually that's what people say about Carlisle is it's like it is smoked bacon, smoked meats.
Yeah, this is actually rather smoked bacon. It's more like smoked ham because it's got that sweetness to it. You know, that kind of like a smoked bacon is very, very kind of like savoury because it's salty.
Yeah.
I think the saltiness is there, but I think it's separate to the peat. So I get like a smoked ham sweetness, and then the saltiness comes after.
Especially bear in mind this is a cast strem, so they wouldn't have watered it down. This is just it's good though, yeah.
I like it, yeah. I don't actually dislike this one. Which is annoying because we'll have to call this Josh Likes a Peaty one again.
They always, the whiskey community generally says people who don't like peaty whiskies should drink Carlisle. And then when you end up liking a Carlisle, that's sort of it'll just nose bomb you into, oh, maybe I'll try this slightly more peaty one. And then by the end of the year, you're drinking Smokehead.
I would like to point out I've never turned down a whiskey because it's peaty.
No, you just complain about it, but that's fine.
I do, but I have not turned down a whiskey.
You never not finished it either.
Nope.
Unless we've only been drinking halves.
No, I have had every whiskey that I've bought or tasted or anything I have finished. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've never gone, oh, it says peat, I'm not going to have it.
Okay, so
I definitely get that smoked ham from it. I'm
getting this shellfish, but I guess that could be.
It's that same kind of sweetness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if your prawns have got that same kind of sweet, that savoury sweetness, meaty sweetness. Like it's sweet, but it's not like you couldn't have prawns as a dessert, but they are quite sweet. Do you know what I mean?
With the water, I didn't get anything really different on the nose there, but it was a very small amount added, and then it was a little bit sweeter in the more vanilla, I would say. Like the vanilla comes through more with the water.
Okay, that to your comment. So this is my I've put smells like the seaside, smoked ham with saltiness building quickly after, medium finish with peat smoke. And then for your comment, I've put vanilla comes through more with water.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That's it.
Okay. What would you like to score that?
I'm actually going to go for a 3 on it.
I'm going to give that a 3. And that's quite high for a peated one for me.
Yeah. It didn't blow me away.
That's all right. I could have more than one of that. Slowly. It wouldn't be my next one.
Yeah, over the course of an evening.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Time for the big one.
Yep. Is it my turn, is it?
Yep, you get the honour.
Okay.
This is an old whiskey we're going to have here.
Yeah, almost as old as us.
Yeah.
Oh, well, technically it is as old as me, but they stopped aging it early. Girvan 1990, which is my birth year. Aged 29 years, which is not my age. It's a well-established fact that here at the Dram Team, we are huge fans of a well-aged single-grain whiskey. So this 29-year-old cask from Girvan is a wonderful treat. Picture gorgeous, chewy tannins, you'll like it then, and inviting complexity, the sort that can only come with nearly 3 decades spent maturing in quality wood. So on the nose, prickly yet inviting. Alcohol, acetone, lime, oak, vanilla, almond tart, green tea, white pepper, popcorn, nutmeg, chalk, and menthol. And some of those aren't particularly inviting smells, I would say.
Okay, I can understand. So obviously acetone, that alcohol and acetone.
Well, acetone's paint thinner, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a paint thinner is a different type of alcohol.
True.
So I can understand how those two would be the same. And then, like, when you think about chalk, it's just sort of a dry.
Yeah.
Kind of. But when
that's limestone, isn't it?
I definitely, that's it. And when I sniff it, I do get the chalkiness to it.
I do get that actually. Yeah, it's like a dry smell, isn't it? Somehow.
Yeah. And there's also like I get the popcorn. But it's not like buttered popcorn, or it's like raw like just popcorn.
Yeah, maybe right at the end.
It's more like it's like a roast sort of smell.
I'll give you that. Chalk and popcorn on the nose. All right, have your first sip, and you should be tasting. So it's fruity and vanillic. I didn't even know you could use vanilla as a adjective. Adverb. I
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lime, oak, vanilla, popcorn, white pepper, green tea, menthol chews, almond tart, nutmeg, and floral elements. And the finish should be medium, menthol chews, and vanilla alongside some oak. Do you get all that from it?
Oh, it's actually crazy, the menthol on that.
Yeah. Whoa. That's climbing up the back of my nose.
It's like a strong, maybe it's not really menthol-y though, it's more like licorice-y. But it rises with the alcohol.
I get a really strong smell of vanilla from that. Like the taste rose up into my nose. It gave me a really strong vanilla smell.
So for me, it starts out with like a licorice flavor, and then it bursts up like your palate, like the menthol chew, but it's like a licorice menthol, and then it's like vanilla.
Yeah, I'm still smelling vanilla now.
Like this is one of those whiskeys that's like, it moves around.
Yeah, but I've never had a whiskey that's got into the back of my nose through a taste.
Yeah, that it blossoms that hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that's different. That's good.
I don't know if you noticed when I drank it. I was like, oh, because it was like this is an experience more than a flavor.
Yeah, this is something completely different to anything we've tasted.
Not even going to add water. I want to do that again without ruining it.
Oh, yeah, my nose. You know when you like have vapor rub and your nose you cleared out. It's like that, but like a vanilla.
That is very, very nice.
That is very nice. That is very good. Better finish it off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm worried because like I want. That's a grain as well, right?
It is single grain.
That is very character. I mean, 30 years. I was going to say that's very characterful for a single grain, but it's a 30-year-old single grain. It's got a lot.
We've had a few older grains though recently, and that one it's unique.
Unique is a very good word for it.
Yeah. I thought it was my comment. Never had a whiskey that hits the same as this. Like it's like not the flavors; it's just the way it delivers the flavors.
Yeah. I'm still tasting like it's like a buttery vanilla licorice.
It's almost like after brushing your teeth as well. You know, you take that first breath.
Yeah,
and it's all fresh.
Yeah.
It's like that. Wow.
I'm impressed just by the sensation of that. Like that's.
Thank you for that one, Chris.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
Yes, yeah. Well, you know, if he's going to shout us out, you know.
Do you see he commented on his last upload? Not the one that I just uploaded last week. The one before.
Oh, what did he say?
Better late than never. How are we doing?
Oh, that's good. We should give him a wee response.
Feel free.
Oh, I suppose I'm the social media manager now.
You are. You got as a shout
I actually literally always was. I have the Facebook and the Twitter account. I forgot.
Yeah. What would you like to score that? I'm going straight in at 4.5 for that.
Yeah, I was going to say 4.5. Can't have a grain be my first 5, but that's not why I'm holding it off.
Yeah, see, you've got it difficult, haven't you? Because, like, Abalao Abuna for me will always be the 5 because it was the one that started me on this journey. But I don't think you've got that single point, have you?
No, it's like I'm supposed to drink whiskey because I'm Scottish, and it's just as lucky that I like it.
Well, it's weird because I only drank Abuna because I was in that pub and I saw it was 60%. And as you know, I'm obsessed with tragic heroes from films, and they all drink whiskey.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've got to try this. I'll probably not be able to even like drink it because it's so strong, 60%. I'll probably
enjoy it. Yeah.
And it was super smooth, and I was like, okay. And then I think I talked to you about it like 5 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
About how I had this whiskey, and you were like, I know that place.
Yeah.
And then we came to visit, and you're like, do you want to go see Auchentoshan? And the rest is history. Yeah. We're up to like 250 whiskies on his record, so probably about 300 when you take in all the ones we haven't written down.
Yeah, like evenings in the hotel.
All of the whiskey festivals.
Yeah, we're probably closer to 400.
Yeah, I mean, we have like 20 at each whiskey festival when you think about it.
At least.
Yeah, that last one must have gone up to like 25.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I hope they come back.
I think by the end of it, I was enjoying the Swedish one that tastes like smoked fish.
Macmira, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that the vaccine allows those to come back because whiskey festivals are special.
I mean, the talk is that it'll essentially move to like that coronavirus isn't going to go away, but it'll move to being like similar to the flu vaccine. You know, you get a slightly different vaccine, but they're saying it might be 6 monthly because it's flu's seasonal, whereas coronavirus is year round.
Yeah. No,
but there's talk that. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But the next
I'm pretty sure
we're going to be more sensible. I'm not doing that again.
No. I think if there's one that's over multiple days, we should book
both days,
and then we can do it.
Hey, well, I won't just have a flat by that point.
You'll have a house, yeah.
Aye, with a whiskey room.
And I have a spare room now. So.
Oh, yeah. You should have got Yeah, what's the proper term? Partner, is it?
Yeah,
You should get her involved in one of these.
I'm sure she'll come along. She loves a sesh, so.
Fair play. She could probably outdrink me. You can sell her on that.
I
Just be
don't
like,
know.
don't worry, you won't be the lightweight there.
Yeah. But yeah, she's been. I've been telling her she's tapping out quite early these days, but it's lockdown. The problem is you're not out, so there's no real reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just drinking in the house if you're drinking in the house,
Yeah, it's not the most romantic thing, is it? To be drinking just sat in your flat.
It's what old couples do, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, fair point. Anyway, that was our 6. This month, fortnight, week, whichever our upload schedule is at the time. Hopefully we've not uploaded this too late after November, so it still makes sense with some of the comments that we've made regarding the live stream.
Yeah.
I'll put links to Vin's channel in our description. I mean, he's a lot bigger than us, but I will do anyway because we've referenced him, so it seems only fair. And definitely, if you subscribe to us and you like our content, you'll like his.
It's regular.
He's like us, but better, basically. Yeah. So, go over to his channel, check him out. And thank you for listening as always. This was another good box.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris.
It's almost as if there's never been a bad box apart from one whiskey.
I'm waiting for the time that he makes a peated box. Although I would like to say, I have suggested a box idea to him.
Yeah. The Yorkshire Distillery, man.
Yeah.
Have they got 6 whiskies now?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I mean, I've got 6 of their whiskies.
Okay, there you go.
But one of them they don't sell anymore because it was like the first release.
All right.
But I'm sure they can.
They probably have some reserves, but that would be the special dram.
They've got a wine cask finish. They've got 2 sherry cask finishes.
Wait, what? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, they've got a wine cask finish.
I need to try that. I assume you have a bottle for tasting.
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, okay.
I've got 2.
I'll have to get to Bristol / your new location as soon as we're allowed.
I've got 2 of their bottles of everything except their super special edition that they did for Yorkshire Day, which I got 1 bottle of, but I'm not collecting that, so that's what's waiting for when you come to visit.
All right.
We'll go through all the Yorkshire ones when you come to visit.
Sounds good.
So yes, anyway, thank you for listening, everyone, as always. Drop us a like, subscribe,
comment if you can for the algorithm. Although
any suggestions or insults, we're always happy to read them.
Yeah.
And,
literally anything.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.